Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great evening. It's cool and damp. It feels like spring around here. Temperatures close to 70, give or take a little bit. Daytime, overcast clouds. Nighttime, 50, 55. So hopefully we get a lot of moisture this week. We certainly need it. We're still 3 inches behind, but things are looking up. To me, it feels like spring east of the Mississippi with all the humidity and the gray skies, but that's what you need to grow things. So here we are. The indexes were off overnight. Financial futures were higher. This is a big news day. We've got PPI, final demand, that I don't think anybody will pay any attention to, but we've got forecasts for plus 0.2, and then X food and energy. Plus 0.1. Isn't it amazing how we do our inflation? I mean, if you don't eat and you don't have to pay for shelter, inflation is pretty benign, right? Retail sales, this is a big number, plus 1.1%. There's room for disappointment here. Ex-autos, plus 0.6. These are big numbers. There's room for disappointment there. Then we got business inventories, plus 0.2 that I don't think anybody will pay any attention to. So the focus is going to be retail sales, ex-autos, plus 0.6%. Okay, they've run the financial futures up in front of this news, so just based on this activity overnight, a short into the news would be, especially if we were up in this area, would be a way to play it. As it stands right now, we're going to be on the close. The market has been run up into this news, so a short into the news, because they've run prices at no other reason, and I'm not advocating it, it would be the trade. So we're at 3.5, resistance is at 8, 7 to 11, sell 1. 15 to 19, sell 2. We like our number 2 points the best. On the buy side, letting them get stops below the overnight session low, giving a little room for the news, 29 to 01, and then 21 to 25. So retail sales is the news focus today. News is kind of quiet overseas. I mean the Greek euro, the euro's down supposedly because of the Greek euro situation. Maybe they exit, maybe they don't. Yesterday the rhetoric out of Greece was get ready for an exit. Going to have to tighten our belts. I don't know what it'll be. It seems to me very unlikely that the ministers in Brussels will give up any control unless forced to over any entity out there. But we will see. Now they say the drop dead date was April 9th. That's passed. Nobody's faltered or suffered. So now the new drop dead date is April the 24th. I don't know what the actual date's going to be. You know, when we run up against our Treasury constraints on spending, the debt ceiling has to be raised, all that stuff. They find ways to get around it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, quarter, forever. So the situation is probably similar here. Last 4, overnight session high is 9, so 3 to 7 is sell 1. It's where resistance is. And then we have this area up here, the 20 area, so 15 to 19 will be sell 2. Knob spread did widen overnight. It's coming back in now. 21 to 17 buy 1. And then 9 to 13 buy 2. All down to the retail sales number. You know, it's interesting when you look at it from a trading perspective and trading structure, just off price action. If you traded multiple markets structurally and you were only going to take a trade at certain price levels, go back and look at, you know, what trying to catch the trades in the E-mini and just focusing on something like that. Go back and ask if that's really where you'd like to be. And so you got small losses and a lot of potential range. Okay, we're at 87 right now. Last rotate up stopped at 90, so 90, 92. We're going to get a big swing off the news. Then our 95, 97, which has been pretty solid support, will be sell to. Obviously, 1200 is a pretty important barrier. 85, 87 is where we are. It has been pretty good support, so stops below 85 will make it 83, 85 by 1, and then our 75, 77 by 2. And retail sales will influence this. So we have a mini Newsday trade today. It's certainly not like unemployment or FOMC, but retail sales, industrial productions are the next two biggest numbers that we look at each month, and they will impact the trading. Okay, the euro, it is pointed lower. We've got this 105 number down here. So 5 to 510 by 1. And then our 75 by 2. I mean, it's just where support is, the by 2 number. In fact, leading against 75 is the structural trade. We've got volume at 22. We're at 76, so 106, sell 1. 106, 20 to 30, sell 2. Okay, crude is because the peak in shale oil production is upon us, they say. And they could be right because you have to drill a lot of wells to keep that going. It is a tight formation. It has to be treated a lot. It's expensive. So depending on whose reports you read, depending on the structure, it's profitable anywhere from $45 up to about $80 per barrel. So it's don't know what the actual number is. It varies from producer to producer. Some are a lot more efficient at getting it out than others. So right now, suffice it to say that prices are low enough that lenders aren't making loans. Okay, we got volume. Up at 53 or at 52.40. So I think structurally where we were yesterday, this 52, 51.75 is buy 1. And 51 1/4, 51.50 is buy 2. 52.75, 53 sell 1. And 53 1/4, 53.50 sell 2. I put an article up there on the cover-up that's going on the financing for 9/11, and it shouldn't surprise anybody that what they've always said is that Saudi princes and wealthy, and they'd have to be a prince if they were wealthy in Saudi Arabia, were behind the financing of 9/11, and the FBI report says that the Saudi royal family, the government itself, was behind it, but that's being covered up. And again, it just shows you what dependency on crude oil will lead people to do. We can't shake it up. We can't defend them. What they forget is that Saudi Arabia may not sell us crude oil, but somebody over there will. It's fungible. It's going to go. And these guys like the cash flow, and they need cash flow and money too. But I mean, when you start looking into the relationship and who does what to whom and the consequences for doing that, we live in an entirely different world right now where your own leaders can aid and abet the enemy openly and get away with it, or your allies foment an attack against you and get away with it. Wasn't this way back in the old days, but that's where we are today. Okay, support is at 80. So 80.82 is going to be buy one. They've run this market down, the E-mini down into the retail sales number. On the upside, we'll adjust it after the market. 90 plus or minus will be sell one, and 95 plus or minus will be sell two, and we'll come back in and we'll adjust it after the numbers. Retail sales plus 1.1%. Ex-autos plus 0.6%. Ex-autos and gasoline plus 0.4%. All strong numbers for the stock market. If because they run it down in front of us news, the trade would be from the long side before the news, strictly because they've run it down before the news. And you have to get used to that type of thinking. Why would it be a reasonable trade? Well, those that make market before the news are willing to make market in this area right here. They're not willing to make market up here. So the market has been run down. They're willing to take in the paper. It doesn't mean that they're wrong, that they're right about the news, that it's going to come in better than forecast. It just means they're willing to make market there. So they've given themselves a pad of, 7 points, 7 to 10 points from the overnight. So that's the rationale behind it. Say, well, we may not be right. We may market, but, the first time the market recovers, it'll come back and we'll be able to pick up the pieces, maybe make a little money off of it. So it'll take about 20 minutes to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will see you as soon as possible. I'll be back with you on the news.